It is expected to become a hurricane and to strengthen into one heading into tomorrow and throughout the rest of this week. But to get more context on where Beryl is at and how quickly it's strengthening, I do want to bring into the conversation now Michael Brennan. He is the director for the National Hurricane Center. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. We have been on the lookout for your updates over the last few days. But tell me, we saw one early today on this Saturday on the tropical storm. How have things progressed since that last update?
Well, things are pretty much on track at this point. We haven't seen the storm change a whole lot today. Maximum sustained winds are still around 60 miles per hour. We have seen it gradually becoming better organized on satellite imagery. We're not expecting a whole lot of intensification through the next maybe 6 to 12 hours. But by the time we get into tomorrow and up into Sunday night, Monday, as the storm gets up here near the Texas coast, we're expecting conditions to be more favorable for the storm to strengthen. And we are forecasting Beryl to regain hurricane strength before making landfall. But we want the focus to really be on the hazards, the life-threatening storm surge inundation, the possibility for that, hurricane force winds, especially where the core of the hurricane comes on shore, then the potential for widespread heavy rainfall of 5 to 10 inches across much of the Texas Gulf Coast, eastern Texas, with isolated totals as high as 15 inches, especially as we get into Monday and Tuesday.
So we did see Beryl. It did leave some devastation behind in the Caribbean islands and also parts of Mexico. As it goes into Texas, can we expect those same type of effects? How much devastation could some residents see there? How seriously do they have to take this?
Well, we really want to focus on the water hazards. That's what kills the most people in tropical storms and hurricanes in the United States, is the rainfall, flooding, and the storm surge. We're not expecting the level of wind damage that we saw from Beryl, say, in the Windward Islands. We're not expecting a Category 4 hurricane. We're expecting a Category 1 or maybe a Category 2 hurricane if the storm strengthens a little more. That can certainly cause damage, power outages, damage to trees, damage to roofs, damage to siding, can blow things around outside, but not expecting the widespread, catastrophic wind damage we saw in the Caribbean. But on the storm surge front, we are expecting 3 to 5 feet of inundation here between Baffin Bay and San Luis Pass. That's above ground level, so I'm 6 feet tall, so that's water almost up to my head. So that could be life-threatening storm surge, especially in places like Matagorda Bay, Corpus Christi Bay. Potential for 2 to 4 feet up here into Galveston Bay as well. And then on the rainfall front, we're really concerned about this East Texas area. We don't know exactly where that heaviest rain is going to fall, but you can see this widespread potential for very heavy rainfall. And we're very concerned about the potential for flash flooding in this corridor from Houston up to Palestine, just to the south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, down over here to Victoria, Bryan, College Station, with also a risk of flash flooding extending all the way up across East Texas into the Arklatex region. And this is the flooding risk on Monday into Tuesday. That flooding risk will continue into later on into the week.
When we speak about flooding risk continuing on later on through the week, how long would you say that time period is, let's say, where it's especially dangerous? This is something that we see right before that storm makes landfall. Is it most dangerous once it's right in Texas? And then how long after are we going to feel those effects?
Well, it depends on where you are. So right along the Texas coast, the most dangerous conditions in terms of the storm surge and the hurricane force winds are going to occur around the time of landfall. So that's going to be, Monday morning into the daytime on Monday. But for folks farther inland, that heavy rainfall threat is going to develop during the day, Monday night into Tuesday. And then there'll be some heavy rainfall that'll spread northeastward, even into portions of the lower Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley. But the storm, from a wind perspective, will have weakened all the way below tropical storm strength by early Tuesday. So it's going to become a rainfall threat as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday and beyond.
We've been talking about the fact that Beryl is the first hurricane named storm of this season. How concerning is that for someone who tracks hurricanes? And what does that say about the projected season coming up?
Well, we are expecting a very busy hurricane season in the Atlantic, and seeing a hurricane come out of the deep tropical Atlantic in late June and early July, reach Category 5 intensity across the Caribbean, earliest to do so, and then come all the way into the Gulf of Mexico is concerning. I mean, it's sort of a harbinger of potential threats we could face as we get closer to the peak of the hurricane season, August, September, October timeframe. We've got most of the season left, most of the active part of the season left, so everybody in hurricane-prone areas from the Gulf Coast to Florida, all the way up the East Coast, throughout the Caribbean, needs to have that hurricane plan in place. We are expecting a busy season, and everybody needs to be ready.
And then finally, Mike, just going back to Beryl and what Texas can expect, what kind of category are we seeing here? We know it hit as a Category 5 earlier this week. What is Texas going to see?
Well, we don't want to focus too much on the category because that only is relevant to the wind threat, but we are forecasting a Category 1 hurricane at landfall right now. If it gets a little stronger, it's possible to get up near Category 2 range, but that can cause wind damage to homes and trees and power lines and other infrastructure. So that is a concern, but I think the bigger concern right now is from the storm surge inundation and the heavier rainfall.
Mike Brennan, director for the National Hurricane Center, we appreciate your time here at Live Now from Fox, and we look forward to checking in with you throughout this entire Atlantic hurricane season.
Thanks.
All right, we do want to step away for our first commercial break of the hour. One more time, though, a look at our XRAD weather system as we continue to track Tropical Storm Beryl, as we heard from Mike Brennan, the director of the National Hurricane Center. It is projected to be a Category 1. Not too focused on that, though, because that regards more so the wind speeds. The danger really comes from those storm surges and the flooding that we see after the fact. Those are what make these storms particularly deadly, excuse me. A live look out there in Houston, Texas, just to give you guys a vantage point on what residents down there are seeing. You can see very overcast skies. It's raining in that area and quite strong winds. The camera is shaking a bit.